Almost 24 years. Sachin Tendulkar's career at the highest level has lasted almost 24 years. To pick 10 moments in such a huge span is a very difficult task. But nevertheless, there are a few moments that you will recall and you will say, yes, that was when Sachin Tendulkar taught us to dream and he taught us to have hope. Let us go back to 1989, when a 16-year-old Sachin Tendulkar made his debut at Karachi, facing the likes of Imran Khan, Wasim Akram and some of the fastest bowlers in the world. Can you imagine a 16-year-old doing that? No. What were 16-year-olds doing? They were instead studying in schools. But this boy was different. He was on his way to greatness. That would be moment number one. Then we get to his first Test 100. At the age of 17, Tendulkar had to contend with the English bowlers in conditions that were alien to him, yet he adjusted well. At Manchester on the final day of the Test match, when India had to save the game, Tendulkar batted with great maturity, much beyond his years. And those back-foot cover drives, wow, who would forget them? And that Test 100 did save the game for India. Next we come to 1993 for the Hero Cup semi-final against South Africa. In the last over, Tendulkar took the ball and the responsibility of the nation's hopes as they were defending a small total against South Africa. With a few runs to go, Tendulkar bowled a dream over, an absolute dream, and he won the game for India. That was the stuff of dreams. It wasn't just the bat, he could do it with the ball as well. And then we come to those two knocks at Sharjah, both against Australia. They are called the Sandstorm, and it literally was. The bowler of the caliber of Shane Warne faced the wrath of Tendulkar that day. In fact, on both the days, and in the first game he ensured India get into the final, and in the second, he did it. He won India the cup, and it was single-handed. Could anybody else do that? That was what this man had, the power to change games, the power to say that I am there and I can get it for you. Then we come to 2005 when he scored his 35th Test 100. As we may recall, Sunil Gavaskar held the record in Test cricket with 34 tons to his name. And Tendulkar took his time. In fact, there was a gap between his 34th and the 35th Test 100. So, eventually when it came against Sri Lanka at Delhi, it was a huge relief for the whole nation. And it came in testing conditions. And it came at a time when people were writing it off. The bat went in the air the moment he pushed the ball towards the leg side on an evening at the Firozshah Kotla, and the milestone was there, the 35th Test 100. Then we come to a very emotional moment. Sachin Tendulkar paddle sweeping Graham Swan at Chepauk in 2008 to get that memorable win against England. Chasing a total of over 380, India did it in the 4th innings at Chepauk. It came after the terrible Mumbai terror attacks. Sachin Tendulkar was moved. He was emotional. And in the end, he dedicated that 100 to the people of Mumbai. That moment did show what Sachin Tendulkar is for this nation. For a moment, you took your eye away from the brutalities that took place a few weeks before that, and you looked at this man and you smiled. It may have been for a moment, but it came after a long time. Then, of course, you have the 50th Test 100. It came in the Tigers' den in South Africa. Pushing that single of Dale Steyn to the covers and running, he had his arms up in the air. And we knew it was a special moment. To score 100 in Test cricket, it takes you an effort. But as the commentator said, imagine getting 50. He had it that day in South Africa. And then we come to the double 100, the ODI double 100, the first man to get it. Some people picked other more aggressive contenders to do it, but here he was showing his mastery. At the age of 36, Sachin Tendulkar got that double 100 in ODIs at Gwalior against South Africa in 2010. And he did show that age is just a number, believe me. And we come to the moment which moved the whole country, which was the World Cup victory at Mumbai. It was so poetically set for him, the final at his home ground, the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. And yes, on that day he lost his wicket early. And India did say, hang on, will we get to this total? But then the likes of Gautam Gambhir, Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Virat Kohli ensured that his dream was complete. And the moment Sachin Tendulkar walked onto the field after the win was completed, the loudest cheers were reserved for him. The nation wanted it for him more than they wanted it for themselves. And finally, we come to the landmark 100th International 100. It was almost an anticlimax when it came against Bangladesh at the Asia Cup in 2012. But it did. It took him a long time. It was almost like a demon that he had to exorcise. Wherever people went, they spoke about it. There was tremendous pressure. And when he did get there finally, it was a huge relief, just like his 35th 100, probably even more. But That was what he showed. Nothing is impossible. The 100th International 100, an unprecedented feat, was complete that day. So Sachin Tendulkar has given us many moments. These were the top 10, and he will continue to live in our memories, in our hearts, even if he doesn't continue to play. So thank you, Sachin Tendulkar. We wish you all the best for whatever you decide to take in your life after cricket.